everyone, we are back with Glenn Velvet Reviews today, and we're going to start the installation. I did the unboxing already of that. I told you guys I separate the stuff because I have ADD and it's hard, for me, and it's just easier when you separate stuff. I feel more organized, so that's the only reason I like to separate the videos, especially when they're more involved. I'll usually do, unboxings and group together when it's like, small items and stuff. But when there's a lot of, there's other steps and stuff, then, I try to separate it out just so there's more detail, easier, and people, can just look for what they're looking for. But anyway, I told you my plan, what's going on. I want to clean this up, and this kind of, I think it doesn't, look appealing or whatever the case maybe. So we're going to want to clean this up a little bit, just in my opinion. I don't know, what you're going to do for where you're at. But so I got the media, enclosure, the wireless enclosure, the Leviton one that you saw I did get. My plan is to install it over here, but now you could see a before and after. I mean, obviously, the shredder and the printer are not going to go in there yet. I mean, I would like to figure out, something along those lines with that, but that'll be a future review, another update. Yeah, so eventually I want to get rid of, the printer and stuff like that, and we'll do another project and a review on a later date of that, and we'll see, where we can put that stuff or whatever. But let's do this for now and see what we're going to do. Let's get rid of the shredder first, at least. Now, you guys already saw, this is here. This is this is like a smart switch. It's a relay switch, whatever. The one wheels. I did an installation on this. Thing is awesome. This is the best one in its class, the best one and the only one that they have, honestly. But this thing works great for the amperage and the power, just to let you guys know. But let's start over here and see what's up. Now, guys, the thing I didn't like is, if you saw in the unboxing when I did the installation on this, when I did the unboxing on this, the installation instructions do not show you old work. They only show you new work, okay? So, whatever, if you know what that means, I just mean that, is that it only shows me is when, you're building a house, or if you're down to the studs, and then you're going to put it on. That's not happening here, or I don't know if it's happening for you or whatever, but I'm working on a spot where the wall is already here, so we're going to be installing it already, without the studs showing, without a bare wall, without the bare installation here. I already did pretty much I used the stud finder. This stud finder is great. It's like, this thing is awesome. I think I did a review on this. But anyway, I kind of located where the studs are. That's what you're going to want to do, see? Boom. So I located my studs, and roughly my studs are right here, okay? As you guys can see, I made a bunch of lines, good, because this has to go between studs. And you do not want to cut out studs, guys. Once you start cutting out studs, then you gotta, then you have to engineer it properly to make sure it's gonna hold the weight and everything like that. And look at this. This has an air conditioner that weighs, a couple 100 pounds right here. This is like 20-something thousand BTU air conditioner that's very old, and it is what it is, but eventually we'll upgrade that. Eventually, there'll be an upgrade on this as well in the future, and we'll be doing videos on that. But for now, this, has a lot of weight on here, so you're not going to want to be messing around. And no matter what, guys, you don't want to cut out studs unless you know what's above it. So it looks like my stud is right here, so I am going to want this, this is pretty much going to go. Something similar to this is what I'm aiming to put it in. Now, guys, if you see my videos and you see the way I do stuff, I do not just like to pop stuff in or do stuff willy-nilly. Try to have a reason of why you're doing it. This way you know and you won't mess it up. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, whatever. But right now, I'm going to go below this. I don't want to go all the way up here because I do not know the future of this, of what's going on. And if you go too close to this and this breaks, or you got to change it out, you might be you don't want to look at issues over here with this, okay? You're just going to be looking at a problem, and no one wants that problem of what's going on, okay? And mine's going to start right here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the level on that, and that's where I'm going to want mine to start, okay? All right, let's get the level. So like I said, I want to go below this just for myself because upgrading, blah, 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 all that other stuff, okay? I'm going to go with a 6-inch, okay? Set predetermined amount, 6 inches. Just so I know, 6 inches is common. Yes, I could have went with 5, not a common size. You know what I mean? Like, you know, in at least my markets. Alright guys, that's where my level is or whatever. Like I said, I don't see, now there's 2 ways you could do this. You can either measure the box itself, the outer diameter. Now remember, this box is pitched, okay, a little bit out like that. So if you're going to be measuring it, the inside, you're going to have to measure from the top to here, okay, and that's pretty much how you're going to have to, you know, measure that out. Yeah, so since it's pitched, guys, it's not, you know, a complete square, all right? It's pitched. You're going to have a hard time, you know, lining this up. If you just put this on here and just make the outline of it and try to cut it, you're going to be messed up. It's not going to work, all right? So what you're going to have to do is you are going to have to measure this and then do it properly, all right, just to let you know. So I got 14 1/4 left and right, okay, horizontal, whatever you're going to call it. So you are going to want to make sure, you know, you're measuring 14 inches this way to make sure you're going to clear that. All right, so I made the line, you know, I got to go 14 1/4 inch this way, and then you're going to want to measure down. Let's see what that is for me. So I would do 28 1/4 up and down, and then I would do, 28 1/4 up and down, and then 14 1/4, you know, left and right, you know, horizontal. All right, guys, so I finished up. I did I saw that, I finished it up. I did my measurements just to explain what I did and the reasons why I did it. Now there is a wall over here, okay, or whatever. There's an object to the side. I don't know what your environment is going to be. You might have an object to the side just like I did. Make sure you take that into consideration before you start chopping apart someone's wall if you're on a project, okay? Make sure you just think ahead a little bit so you can have preventative maintenance. That's what I'm always about, preventative maintenance. This way you do it right, and then you can move on and move forward, and then, you know what I mean, we can keep moving forward instead of going back, all right? Because, you know, there's no point of going back for stuff like this. You know, we can advance ourselves so much better, you know? Anyway, so I made mine the center. See what's up? So there's my center right here, and I just did that. I always put center line when I'm doing shelving, when I'm doing piping, everything. It's just a good measurement to do, because you have to think about it. If you're going to have objects on the side, this does have a little bit of a lip. It has a 1/4 inch lip on each side. All right, and like I said, this way I'm going to have, now I'm going to be able to clear the panel on the right side, because you're going to need, on that right side, guys, the lid itself, guys, is 15 3/4. All right, so you're going to need about a 3/4 inch, okay, on the side for this cover to work, okay? So just make sure you're going to have that. All right, guys, so you saw I made the outline right there. You know, make sure you're going to, you know, measure twice, cut once, whatever the case may be. Now that I put the cover on, I saw what's up. I need a 3/4 inch, like I said, because of this. You don't want to have to modify a customer's house because you didn't pre-plan, all right? I've seen it done a lot of times. You do not want to have, you know what I mean, mess with someone's business or whatever and then add on to it. And then you have to add on to the bill if you have employees. They're not going to work for free. So it just comes into a mess, you know what I mean? Pre-planning, being transparent with your customer is just always going to work out for you. At least it has worked out for me in the past, all right? And that's it. So we'll be right back. I'm going to get my cutter. We're going to cut this up and do some damage, and we'll go from there. All right, be right back, guys.